Okay, real quick, guys. Just a quick little delicious, healthy dressing that you can put on your salads. Gives you something different, quick, and delicious, and it's healthy. Alright, so mainly this is for my sweet husband James because he was wondering how I made this. So, just in your little small NutriBullet container, throw some of these guys. These are the best green olives. Love them. So anyway, I already had some opened. This amount of dressing is only going to be like maybe for 2 to 3 servings at the most. So I'm just going to do like maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 olives. Of course, if you're making a bigger batch for a sauce, because you can use this for anything. This is what I use for my mashed potatoes now. Instead of, using the butter, oil, or margarine or anything like that, I use this instead, and it's so delicious anyway. And that's why my mashed potatoes are green. But I know some people were wondering that before. The homegrown parsley and the green olives is why it's green. And I would use fresh dill, but today I do have some dill in the garden, but I didn't feel like going back out there. But I'm going to use this dried dill here, some of that, and I guess it also goes towards making it green, but who cares? You know what the ingredients are, you know it's delicious and not gross. So anyway, put your olives in there. For this amount, 1 clove of garlic, depending on how much you're making, you would want to, of course, do more. The juice of half a lime for this amount. For if I'm making a big sauce amount, then of course I'll use a whole lemon. Put that in there. And I always like to lift and move it a little bit because it always gets more juice out of there. And see, you've got all this juice left in the peel up here. And I just like to get all I can because it gives it a delicious flavor. And no, it does not make it taste lemony, but you can tell that there's some citrus in there that's giving it a delicious burst of flavor. Okay, so now I'm going to put my homegrown parsley in here. This is that Italian dark green parsley that is so lovely. Parsley is one of the things that you don't really want to put stems in. This cilantro is the one that you can, stems are fine to use. But parsley, you don't want to use the stems. I mean, a little, the small, more top pieces are fine, but like, I wouldn't want to use that. Or any bigger, of course. So, for this amount, I love it. Love, love, love it. For some people, that might be too much, but I'm going to put even a little more because I love it. And of course, feel free to play around with this recipe to create all kinds of different flavors. You can use lime juice if you don't have lemon juice or whatever too. I'm going to do just like maybe, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, maybe even an 1/8. Because there's so many delicious flavors in here. You don't need a lot of salt, but just a little bit of salt always makes things better. Alright, so now I'm going to pour my cashews in here. So I've soaked these for about 10 minutes in some hot to boiling water. You don't even have to really soak them, but I feel that it does give a little bit of a, I don't know, it makes it a little bit better, a little bit softer, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put part of this liquid in there. I would say I'm going to put about an 1/8 of the water in there. And then I'm going to pour the water out in the sink, the rest of it. And for this amount, I've just used, as you can see there, without the water. It's just about 1/4 of a cup, almost up to 1/3 of a cup. Soaked cashews, not that much, so you're not using up your whole expensive stash. This one little bag costs $10 at Walmart, dude. Seriously, insanity. Oh, and while I have these here, if you want a little sweet to anything, smoothies, sauces like this, whatever, chop up a date. It gives you a wonderful, lovely, delicious, sweet flavor without the bad stuff, you know, that sugar or anything else might give. Alright, so now I'm going to put, in this amount, I'm going to put a teaspoon of dried dill. If you're using fresh dill, you'd probably use like, I don't know, a half of a bunch, or maybe, I like to rub it. I'm probably going to get it all over my hands because my hands are wet, but I feel like it releases more of the flavors when you do that. More of the flavor. So anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. I was saying something else. Anyway, I'm going to rinse this off my hands real quick. Oh yeah, my hands are dry, or wet, so do that with your hands dry. But there was something else. Let's see, what else? I think this is it, guys. So now I'm gonna blend. Oh, if you're using dill, fresh out of your garden, once you take it off the stems, it's probably like maybe a half a cup that you'd use for this amount. But, you know, there's no exact science to this. Just do what tastes good to you. But this is how I do it. Play around with the amount of liquid that you use to give your desired consistency. Because you might want a wetter dressing or a thicker dressing or whatever. So, of course, you would play around with your liquids, the water and the lemon juice, to get the desired thickness. I always do that and then go one more time. Up and show you. The most delicious dressing. And some people would think that there's avocado in this, but there isn't. I'm saving my avocado for the actual salad. Yum.